Hey friends, in today's video, we are going to discuss the ways that you can become a pet groomer. I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each option and even explore a new way to become a pet groomer that I have never talked about on my YouTube channel before. By the end of this video, you will feel informed and confident to choose the right path for you to make an incredible income working with pets by becoming a pet groomer. My name is Savana. I am the owner and operator of Pause and Relax Mobile Pet Grooming and Reiki Services. I work out of my van in Saskatchewan, Canada. I started the business about 5 years ago, and I help pet lovers and pet groomers create their dream life through pet grooming. I currently work about 15 to 20 hours a week, which allows me to stay at home with my young girls, but make an amazing income as a pet groomer. By owning my own business, this allows me to make double what I made working full time for someone else as a pet groomer. Let's get into the content of today's video. If you are watching this video, there is a pretty good chance that you are considering becoming a pet groomer. This is an amazing career that allows you to work with pets without needing a college degree or really any schooling at all. In upcoming videos, we are also going to be discussing the earning opportunity of pet groomers. If I've made that video already, it will be linked above or down below in the description. I have actually previously made this video where I went through the 3 ways that you can become a pet groomer. Since making this video, I have actually found and created a 4th way that allows you to become a pet groomer or start your business almost immediately. So we are going to be covering that near the end of the video. So let's get into the 4 ways that you can become a pet groomer. Before we can discuss the ways to become a groomer, I need you to know and understand that there are no certifications or regulations to becoming a pet groomer. This means there are no set courses, tests, etc. needed to become one or start your business. This in itself has many pros and cons, but for those looking to get into the career for the right reasons, this actually allows a lot of different ways to become one. I encourage you to double check if there are any specific requirements where you live and to always follow any licensing, insurance requirements required for your area. The very first way, and what most people often consider as an option, is going to an in-person school. The 2 options for this would be to either go to a private school or to go through somewhere like PetSmart that sends you for the training or trains you themselves. These are the pros and cons of going to a school for grooming. The pros being hands-on learning and help. Grooming is obviously a very physical skill, and it is very helpful to have lots of hands-on learning and practice to master the skill. The pro of going to school at a private grooming school is that you take the schooling and then you move on to working wherever you like or opening your own business. The pro of getting trained through somewhere like PetSmart is that they usually pay for training and basic tools for you, but you are often required to sign a contract to work for them for a certain amount of time afterwards. I believe this is usually around 2 years. The cons of going to school for pet grooming would be going to school at a private location can lead to very high tuition costs and also you having to pay for your own tools, the time off work you may need to take to go to school full time, and the lost wages. And also, if there's not a school nearby you, then you might have to move and uproot your life for a little bit to go to pet grooming school. The cons of going through a PetSmart type training ties into what I kind of mentioned before. You go through their training, which they pay for you, which is great, but it is usually very basic, and you are also tied to them for a certain amount of time afterwards through a contract. Very quickly, I want to cover something you may or may not have heard of, which is called a master groomer. This is a title that is not needed to work as a groomer. This is an extra option for those who are interested. It involves both written and physical exams on breed-specific knowledge and trims, which is usually obtained through the AKC or other kennel clubs. These are done on purebred show world dogs. I personally groom pet dogs, and I don't have an interest in the show world, so I am not interested in obtaining this kind of extracurricular master groomer title, although I do think it is really cool that the option is there, and I will leave some info down in the description box below. Your next option for becoming a pet groomer is kind of twofold. You could take an online school slash self-taught. Now, why these are kind of hand in hand is that even if you were paying for an online course to groom, you still kind of have to teach yourself. There is nobody there in person showing you how to groom dogs. Some of these courses do require at the end for you to have an apprentice type situation in a salon for work hour experience. Although sometimes this can be kind of hard to find, to be honest. Groomers are very busy. The pros of online school is that generally the programs are self-paced. Because of this, you don't have to take time off from your current job and there will be no lost wages. Also, I find that tuition for online schools are often much cheaper than in-person schools, just for the fact that the content is already filmed and there is no in-person teaching. The cons are that you are getting no hands-on training and no in-person instruction from a teacher. And also it could possibly be hard to find pets to work on if you do not have a lot of friends and family willing to be your guinea pigs. Shooting off of the online option is being completely self-taught. What this looks like is subscribing to an online community that has a video catalog of tutorials and how-tos and completely teaching yourself, or just going merely off of YouTube videos, books, and anything you can get your hands on. Again, like the online schooling, it is completely self-paced. If you're not enrolled in an online course, then you can learn material in any order. Another pro of being self-taught is that you can choose who you learn from. It is not just one instructor only learning their way. So you can choose what methods and groomers that you like best to learn your techniques from. Also, there is no time off from your job, no lost wages, and no uprooting your life to move for school. The cons of being totally self-taught are very similar to the cons of taking an online course. There is no hands-on experience or teaching. You have to completely set that up on your own. It may be hard to find pets to work on. There is no set schedule or course for learning, so some may struggle staying motivated. And if you are super new to the pet grooming world or even the pet industry in general, it may feel very overwhelming to you and you don't even really know where to start or what to learn. I would like to do a more deep dive video on online options, but if you are looking for an online subscription with a video catalog of tutorials and information, I highly recommend both Groomhouse and learntogroomdogs.com. This is great for those who are self-teaching or even current groomers looking for new techniques and to kind of hone their skills. And yeah, I won't get into that anymore in this video because it would take a long time, but any affiliate or discount links for those subscriptions will be linked down below in the description box. The third way that you can become a pet groomer is to apprentice under another groomer. What this usually looks like is a groomer that hires you and trains you themselves. This is usually for the purposes of either you are going to be working for them after your training is done, or perhaps you get this training from them in exchange for you pay them for your time. Often what this looks like is that you will start as a bather or a prepper and perhaps move up the ranks to eventually become a pet groomer. So for a while you may just be bathing and drying dogs, slowly learning the skills along the way. The pros of apprenticing under another pet groomer is that you get potential free training, learning how to groom, potential job opportunity at the end of the training, and also you get a very good feel for just the pet grooming job in general before you commit to an online course or an in-person course. The cons of going through an apprenticeship could be possible contract or a non-compete clause, which would be you signing a contract that says you cannot start your own business and compete with them. So if owning your own business in the future is a goal of yours, this is definitely something to consider anywhere you work, whether you are signing a non-compete or not. Also, being apprenticed by just one groomer at one shop could be a con because you are only learning their way of doing things and you could potentially be taught bad habits or things in the industry that some groomers don't agree with. It is very important to do your research before you take on an apprenticeship. Those are the initial 3 ways to become a pet groomer that I talked about in my previous video and that most people think of when becoming a pet groomer. The online schooling and self-taught kind of go hand in hand because for the most part you would be self-teaching through online resources. Now, the 4th option to become a pet groomer is something that I call my stepping stone business model. Originally, I too only thought there were these first 3 options, so much so that I spent thousands of dollars going to grooming school, working for other grooming salons, and then eventually putting myself into debt to buy and build our own mobile pet grooming unit. Through working with other groomers for years and just through my own personal trials, tribulations, and mistakes, I have realized that there is another way to become a pet groomer that very little people realize or taking advantage of. Now, before I get into this 4th option, I want to ask you, what exactly is a pet groomer to you? You were probably thinking of somebody that can do all of the things: trimming nails, cleaning ears, washing and drying the dog, doing full haircuts. But it turns out we are actually thinking too big picture. In the beginning, whether you are just starting as a pet groomer or starting your business, starting smaller is actually better. Let me explain what this looks like. What this actually allows you to do is start your business almost instantly, which sounds crazy, I know, because maybe you haven't been trained in any pet grooming services yet, but let me get into how this works. You learn and master one small skill. Slowly, you can build onto that skill and offer more services. The key is that you pick a skill that is quick, high paying, solves a pain point so that you can grow your business and skills and clients. Let's get into the pros and cons of this new way using my stepping stone business model. Now, the pros of this method are the skills and services can either be self-taught or learned from others. Once you have learned at least one of the skills, you can start your business almost immediately. When choosing the right services, you have the potential to make more in less time. This is because you will be pricing at a high price point for a quick pain-solving service. The income can be used to save for a bigger business in the end, or it just can be used as a stepping stone, like in the name of the model, to slowly build and hone your skills over time. The cons are that it works best if you kind of start your business right away and you are working for yourself. Another con is that you could potentially be scoffed at by other pet groomers because you are not fully trained in all services and are only starting with offering just one to a few, however many you are comfortable with in the beginning. Many full-on pet groomers don't understand the earning opportunity or how this method works. If this new way of becoming a pet groomer and me talking about how you kind of start your business from the very beginning scares you, I encourage you to check out my workbook. This helps you dissolve the fear of starting your own business, and I also help you work through objections over not having time to start your own business or not having money to start your own business. This stepping stone business model is perfect because you start almost immediately. You build your skills along the way, building clients. You could do this as a side hustle, and also it takes very little investment. I will be going into a little bit more info about the stepping stone business model in this new series of videos coming out on my channel about starting a pet grooming business. But if you are waiting for those videos to drop, or if you want even more insider info of how I got to where I am today, the mistakes I made in my business, some lies you probably believe about starting your own business, and more of the stepping stone business model strategy. I have a free video training that you can hop on and watch. It is completely free, and I will leave that down in the description down below. And that could be very helpful for you to decide if that is the ideal way for you to become a pet groomer or start your pet grooming business. Okay, guys, congratulations. You made it to the end of this video. I hope this helped you feel confident in making your decision of how you can become a pet groomer. Pet grooming is an amazing opportunity to make incredible income if you do it the right way, which requires no college degree, very to no schooling. With my stepping stone business model, you could start a business right away. And honestly, you don't have to go to school for years, like becoming a vet to work with animals. It honestly is an incredible option if you're passionate about working with pets and you are looking to change your life. If there is anything on your pet grooming journey that I can help you with, please feel free to either send me a DM on Instagram or send me an email. All of the info is down below in the description box below. And I encourage you to stick around as I'm going to be adding more videos in this pet grooming business series about the earning potential of pet groomers, how to set your prices, and more. If you guys have enjoyed this video, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss a video. Thanks so much, guys. See you in my next video.